Yes, people, what is good? We are rebuilding the NWA. A new episode here, and we're going to go into power. So we are booking two shows because we're only doing two shows per month. So we're doing two shows in one day. So we're going to record two power shows, and then we'll go ahead and then we'll get the next two. And then after that, we'll probably leave it for the next episode. But it should be the pay-per-view if everything aligns with the calendar and whatnot. It's a lot cheaper for us to do that. And because obviously, when you book someone for a show, even though there's two tapings, they only get paid for that one show. So it enables us to keep people on the show that we would normally keep off the show just to save money, but enables us to use them because it's a big money saver. So we're going to give you maybe 4 episodes of Power. So we are jumping into this one. I realized I wasn't recording, so the Ron Housen rating has already happened. We've got 80 rating, but we're going to get into the rest of the show. So Lego. Okay. So in about that had superb wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. El Fantasmo defeated Kaito Kiyomiya in a pinfall using underhanded tactics. Kaito Kiyomiya is a 60. El Fantasmo with an in-ring rating of 65. And El Fantasmo, again, benefited from a groundswell of public support. And that's why I want to put him in the matches. I want to put Kaito Kiyomiya on TV. I want to up his popularity. Segment rating got a 74, even though there's no storyline here. The wrestling rating carried it and is 63, and the crowd are white hot. So we're building El Fantasmo and it's getting Kiyomiya some minutes on TV. Mike Bailey bumps into Ace Austin, causing him to drop his coffee. Ace takes off his shades and asks Mike if he knows what he just did. Mike apologizes. Ace can't let it go. Ace says Mike should meet him in the main event. Finally, you can get a main event spot because of, yeah, me. I'll even put the title on the line. I'll let you know why you'll never not look where you're going again. So this was very hot. Segment rating 64. An innocent um, Mike Bailey bumping into Ace Austin and he's enraged and he says, you know what? Goads him into the match, even offering his title on the line. And he says, I'll let you know why you'll never not look where you're going again. And that is the main event for tonight. So King Kota cuts a promo. King Kota tells Lexi that she heard what she said on Saturday. She reminds her that she invited 3-on-1. She has no issue facing Lexi. Lexi wishes her good luck on her match and she'll be watching. Crowd heat at the end is very hot and its segment rating got a 67. So we're all good right now in the show. Really good at the moment. In a decent match, King Kota defeated Tomoko Inaba on a top rope splash, and the match was designed to tell a specific story. Tomoko Inaba got an in-ring performance of 38, which is poor, but I'd imagine she was held back by the storytelling aspect. And King Kota got a 58, crowd rating 62. So still managed to get in the 60s, which is what we're hoping for. AJ Styles defeated Trevor Lee by pinfall with a Styles clash. AJ Styles had an in-ring performance of 79. Trevor Lee had an in-ring performance of 53. And the segment rating was 63. Wrestling rating 66. Crowd rating 52. And I think they're hot just for AJ Styles, to be honest. Trevor Lee is a really good in-ring talent. He was on the low end here, but AJ obviously just put in a performance of a lifetime. 79 rated on NWA Power is massive. So AJ, after the match, says he never liked the way Shinsuke tried to be a bully. In New Japan, all he heard was stories about how much of a bully Nakamura was. He saw someone stand up to him and he didn't like it. All he cares about is control. It stops here. Nakamura tells AJ to bring everything he can. Next week, bring Takeshita because he'll need him. Nakajima attacks AJ and Takeshita makes the save. So part one, which was AJ's promo, 72 rating. Part two, which was the attack and making a save, got a 64. And that starts to line up this storyline nicely. Next week it will be Tsushiko Nakajima and Shinsuke Nakamura taking on Konosuke Takeshita and AJ Styles. And the segment rating was 74, and that's really good. So main event time, in about that superb wrestling and good heat, Ace Austin defeated Mike Bailey with a surprise cradle. They went out to steal the show. Ace Austin makes it defense number 3 of NWA World Heavyweight title since his second reign. Crowd were very hot. Ace Austin 73, Mike Bailey 65, and I knew there'd be a great pairing on screen. I think I knew they would get high ratings. Ace Austin, we need to give him a reason to wrestle on TV. And Mike Bailey, I knew in ring is pretty much perfect. So wrestling rating 69, crowd rating 46, because it wasn't much of a storyline. Um, but of course, that's why we built it up earlier with the angle. And the segment rating 78. So done really well there. So let's finish the show. And let's see what rating it got. It got 68, which is pretty good. That's pretty good. The show benefited from having quite a wide selection of angles. And yeah, I mean, I'm happy with that rating, especially with everything that we've experienced with the, you know, the penalizations down to production. It's a good rating to have. So we're going to go ahead and we are going to book the next week's episode of NWA Power. Okay, let's get into the next episode of Power and let's go and see what happens. So, in a pre-show match, Killer Kelly defeated Bozilla with a super kick. Killer Kelly made it defense number 8 of the NWA Alliance Pan-Pacific title. And remember that these are the Alliance belts that just go around our Alliance and get those champions, the male and the female champion, around these promotions to just promote them and try to get them popularity in different territories. And also, it allows matchups against people especially on pre-shows and in the future B shows who aren't getting much TV time. So Killer Kelly defeats Bozilla, who we wanted to try and help her popularity as well by giving her some time. Killer Kelly got a 52, Bozilla with a 35. They didn't click at all, which made for an awkward bout. They just didn't have the chemistry. Wrestling rating 43, segment rating 47. 47, sorry. Okay, the next one, another pre-show bout for the NWA Alliance World title. El Fantasmo defeated Age Blanc with a pinfall with a CR2, and El Fantasmo makes it defense number 1 of the NWA Alliance World title, which he won off Colby Carino. So El Fantasmo in-ring performance 60, Age Blanc with a 48, wrestling rating 54, segment rating 57, which doesn't count towards the overall rating of the show. So we're safe doing pre-show and post-show matches, and El Fantasmo benefited from having a groundswell of public support again. Post-show matches as well. I mean, they do happen. When I did see Raw, WWE Raw in March, I do remember CM Punk had a match after Raw went off the air. He came out and, he had a match. So it does happen a lot. Next segment. Okay. Ronhausen, meet El Fantasmo. And I don't know why I had them improvise. I thought I had it as scripted, but it's fine. El Fantasmo groundswell of support again, and of course, they've got good comedy. Crowd are hot and rising. Segment rating 79, even though Ron King has struggled when going off script. Mustafa Ali tells Ace he wants a rematch, and he says Billy Corgan has sanctioned it for next week. So NWA World Heavyweight Title match next week, and the crowd are white hot. And segment rating 61. First match of the evening: Lexi Cabrera versus Venny. Lexi Cabrera defeated Venny by pinfall with a handful of tights. And he got a 60. Then he got a 67 as well. Wrestling rating 63, crowd rating 41, segment rating 72. We do want to up Venny's popularity because she's really good in the ring. But, I mean, we don't really want her to lose. So we've done Tainted Victory. It's not going to do much for Lexi beating Venny. But showing that Venny can hang will help. And the storyline is automatically advanced because King Kota was watching the match. Okay, so I realized that the TV title has not been defended on TV in a while. So we had a TV title match. Metalik drew with Shun Skywalker in a double countout. The match was designed so they can steal the show. Metalik got a 59. It was really off his game. And Shun Skywalker had an in-ring performance of 68. They had a triple threat matches with Kaito Kiyomiya for the TV title, but now it's just those two. And I think they can get a much better rating than the 62 in future. And will Metalik be able to keep his title? Let's go. So, Gresham tells the crowd he's heard the rumours, people speculating about who did what to Shelton. He says he has evidence that it wasn't him. He proves he's the best in the ring by performing in the ring. He says he was looking forward to putting on a technical masterclass, but someone robbed the fans of that. Ace Austin arrives, telling Gresham to stop crying and get out of his ring. Let's accept you're human like the rest of us, and you lost your temper. Gresham tells Ace to shut up, and Ace goads him and then leaves. Segment rating 61. And they did have a history, Ace Austin and Jonathan Gresham. As you remember, in the early renditions of Rebuilding the NWA, that was the first big feud after Ace Austin won the title. Jonathan Gresham arrived in the company. So, main event time, Katsuhiko. I always forget how to say his name. Katsuhiko Nakajima and Shinsuke Nakamura defeated AJ Styles and Konosuke Takeshita when Nakamura pinned Takeshita with a handful of tights again. So wrestling rating was 70, crowd rating 52, so they were super into it. Segment rating 71, Takeshita with an 81, Styles with a 73, and Nakamura and Nakajima with a 65 and 63 respectively. And the Strong Styles storyline has advanced with this segment and gained some heat. And Takeshita benefited from being in amazing form. And Nakamura is getting better at his gimmick. So let's finish the show. 66 rating, which is pretty good. The show benefited from having a wide selection of angles. It didn't result in any popularity changes in the past 2 weeks, which is a little bit disappointing as we are chasing our TV deal. So there is a little bit of a shame. So let's check the financials. 44,000 loss overall for that show. And no popularity changes, of course. So for those two renditions of Power, that's that. National Wrestling Alliance held at NWA National Wrestling Alliance held at NWA Power last night in Arkansas Repertory Theatre. The feedback from viewers has been that the show was awesome, and I'm happy to hear that. 42,096 viewers for the show, which is really good. 372 in attendance. I mean, I do like these shorter shows. I mean, we can't actually just get every single thing on there, but it helps us break up the storylines a little bit. So maybe in the next 2 weeks, we may push it to an hour and a half, but then we'll bring in Ronda Rousey and people like that because we've got to build to the next pay-per-view. And that's something that we're going to do. We're going to have a look around at our calendar actually and see when the next pay-per-view is. If we check, where is the calendar? There's no calendar, I think. You just go on TV and book in. Okay. So, see what we'll do. Modify this. Um, Actually, when we get to Tuesday, we have to skip it. So, the next pay-per-view is Saturday, Jan 8th. Jan 10th, sorry. So let's check the availability for that pay-per-view. NWA Paranoia. Blake Christian won't be there. Chris Chant won't be there. So we're going to change it to a Friday night. We're going to hold NWA Paranoia on a Friday night. I think that would be better because then everybody will be there. It just makes sense to do that. So the next show will be January 9th. And then maybe we could get the tag champions in the program so we can actually get them on the show. I think that'll be really beneficial. Okay, so it's the end of year, and I'll just run through these quickly. We started off in June, and I'll just show you what's happened over the last 6 months. So, male wrestler of the year has gone to Cody Rhodes. Female wrestler of the year, Rhea Ripley. Company of the year, WWE. Male tag team of the year is Adam Page and Kenny Omega. Female tag team of the year is Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. Match of the year, Cody Rhodes defeated Gunther and Dominic Mysterio on a SummerSlam Night 2. Show of the year was SummerSlam Night 2. Male Young Wrestler of the Year is Mascara Dorado from CMLL, who I do want to try and get. If you do ever get Mascara Dorado, you will never be able to sign him on an exclusive deal. He will only be with CMLL exclusively, which they never will get him exclusively, but yeah. Male Young Wrestler of the Year, surprise here, Julia Hart. Very surprising. Male Veteran Wrestler of the Year is Mystico. Female Veteran Wrestler of the Year is Charlotte Flair. Male Independent Wrestler of the Year is Konosuke Takeshita. There we go. 30-year-old is surely destined for bigger and better things over the coming years, and he will be for us because he's on an exclusive contract. So, Konosuke Takeshita, Independent Wrestler of the Year, and bloody hell. I mean, when we get that program going with him, we're currently building him now. He's going through some big feuds. He's wrestled on shows and sporadically left AEW. Now he's here. He's had a little feud, and now he's doing the Nakamura thing. And then once that's all set and done, I'm pretty sure he's going to have his eyes on Ace Austin, should he still have the title at that point. Now, Independent Wrestler of the Year, Saori Anu, who we do have on our roster, and we may start using more. Now she is Independent Female Wrestler of the Year. Male Manager of the Year is Stokely Hathaway. Female Manager of the Year is Harley Cameron. Male Play-by-Play Commentator of the Year, Mauro Ranallo. Female Play-by-Play Commentator of the Year is Ahara. Okay. On my AEW save, I do have her on my team, I think. Male Color Commentator of the Year is Taz. Female Color Commentator of the Year is Paul Nakano. Male Referee of the Year, Charles Robson. Female Referee of the Year is Jessica Carr. And that's that. So there's the end of year awards, and I'm happy with that. Two people on our roster managed to get an award, so you know I can't say any more than that. I'm pleased. Okay, so what I didn't realize is that there is no really next week. We do the first show, the second show gets aired the following week, but in that week we've got the pay-per-view, NWA Paranoia. So we're actually just going to go through to NWA Paranoia, and this will be the last one of the episode. So let's get into it. We've got Fred Yehi versus Zack Sabre Jr. Remember, they were having a little program with Zack Sabre Jr. and Michael Oku. Zack Sabre Jr. defeats Fred Yehi with a Zack driver. Fred Yehi with a 55. Zack Sabre Jr. had an in-ring performance of 79 and wrestling rating 67, crowd rating 42. So they were into it. Segment rating 63. Good to see Zack Sabre Jr. back on the show. Calamari Catch Kings versus Astronauts. They beat the Astronauts in a pure match at 10 minutes 10 seconds when Jonathan Gresham pinned Takuya Nomura with a German suplex hold. Gresham with a 77, Brooks with a 72, Nomura with a 67, and Abe with a 60. And of course, tag team specialist bonus all over the shop and hot and rising crowd. 10-minute angle took place. We saw Danhausen, Isho Speed, and Ron Killings. 75 segment rating. In a decent match, Priscilla Kelly, and this was up to the road agents, by the way. Priscilla Kelly defeated Killer Kelly, Kenzie Page, and Saori Anu, where Priscilla Kelly submitted Saori Anu with a Tilt the World Dragon Sleeper. The match was designed to tell a specific story, and Priscilla Kelly wins the NWA Alliance Main Pacific title. She actually had the worst performance of all of them. I guess now maybe Priscilla and Killer Kelly can go into a program. Segment rating 49, crowd rating 41, and wrestling rating 50. El Phantasmo versus Leon Slater. They defeated Leon Slater by pinfall with a CR2, and that makes it defense number 2 of the NWA Alliance World title. Wrestling rating 65. El Phantasmo has sustained a strained bicep, so hopefully not out too long. The in-ring performance of 70, Leon Slater's in-ring performance of 60, and the crowd rating's okay. Segment rating 65. It was a really good match. Leon, locker room are a bit unhappy with Leon Slater after his mistake. Calls El Phantasmo to get hurt. Okay, Isho Speed interview. He warns Ace Austin that the people he steps on the way up, he'll ask to break his fall on the way down. And the segment rating got a 72. And Isho Speed has a very hot catchphrase. AJ Styles defeats Katsushiko Nakajima with a springboard 450 splash. Wrestling rating 70. They both got 70s. And apparently they've got really good chemistry, pretty good chemistry, and it lifted the match. Crowd rating was super into it, the crowd, 45. The crowd are very hot. Wrestling rating 70. Segment rating 75. And that is a fantastic match between the two. Ronda Rousey arrives and she speaks because obviously we've not got her in the program. So we ain't really got a match for her on this show. Selena tells her it's nice for her to show up to work. Reality is, she only stays home since she knows she can't keep the belt. She goes back and forth with Ronda until Konami attacks her from behind. So, part one, a finalized rating of 60. Part two is a finalized rating of 54. And that segment has started. The segment rating is 61. And we'll look at that storyline in future. Lexi Cabrera defeated King Kota by disqualification. The match was designed so the wrestlers can go out and steal the show. And Davina Rose ran in and attacked Kota. King Kota with a 62, Lexi Cabrera with a 54. But she was really off her game. 58 wrestling rating, crowd rating 56. I was super into it. Segment rating 60. And that's probably because of how the match ended. Davina Rose enrages Lexi after ruining her chances of getting the title. All three start to brawl, with Davina standing tall. And King Kota took a stump bump during this angle. Segment rating is 62. So that would turn this situation into a different direction. Next segment. So Aramis, Vikingo, and Ares. Aramis defeated Vikingo and Ares in a ladder match. When Aramis retrieved the item, it was designed to revolve around a lot of high spots. Aramis makes it defense number one of the NWA National Heavyweight title, which he won off Mustafa Ali. It's his first defense. He got 69 in this match, Vikingo over 64 and Ares over 62. And they were in a storyline, Vikingo and Ares with each other. Had two banger matches, and the third one will be on the way at some point. 65 wrestling rating, crowd rating was 38, segment rating 58, which is the worst segment so far. This is now the worst segment so far. CJ Perry says, anyone back there who wants a shot at the tag titles to come down and fight? Decent. The agency defeated Top Flight, Jeff and Matt Hardy in a ladder match when AR Fox retrieved an item. And I guess these are the ones that answered the match. Triple threat tag team match. The agency make it defense number 9 of the NWA World Tag Team titles. Matt Hardy was the weakest link, struggling to keep up with everyone else in performance. And yeah, of course, I mean, that's not a surprise. I mean, we re-signed them as an attraction to sell merch, and they do that. So we've put them on a pay-per-view. Poor rating from both of them. Dante Martin wasn't much better than Jeff. AR Fox putting out 74, Darius with a 68, and Great Christian with a 63. I mean, they've all got, well, two of them have tag team specialist bonus, and we had some stump bumps during that match, so that would have pushed up the rating. Crowd were into it though, regardless. Speed talks to Ace. Ace tells him that he remembers Speed trying to get people to medal in his matches. Speed says Ace is a bully and will soon get some karma his way. Ace takes it as a threat, and him and Speed start to fight until it's broken up. Speed gets on the phone and says, I know we don't like each other. I've given you the drop. This guy thinks he's God. Uh, First part 71 rated, second part 67 rated, segment rating 72. Crowd is still very hot. Then we have Konosuke Takeshita defeated Shinsuke Nakamura in a street fight by submission with the walls of Takeshita. And this was an epic match, but this was also a street fight, of course. Takeshita, in-ring performance of 81. Nakamura with an in-ring performance of 61. And the match was a little too long given our audience, but still, they managed to get a 70 rating, 71 for the wrestling. Takeshita's in amazing form. 58 crowd rating is massive. Closer to the end. Stedrick and Brother Greatness see Gresham and stop him. They tell Gresham that Shelton's doing fine, by the way. Only knows what's up. See you soon. So, segment rating 50. But it makes you think, what's going on here? Anyway, main event time. Ace Austin defeats Mustafa Ali by pinfall with a house of cards. And they went out to steal the show. And he makes it defense number 4 of the NWA World Heavyweight title. Ace Austin had an in-ring performance of 78 to Ali 68. Suffered from a lack of psychology. Could use someone with the knowledge of how to construct a proper flow, or maybe we could have made the match a little bit shorter. But they have great chemistry, and it showed in their performance. Both took a stump bump, crowd are buzzing. Wrestling rating 73, crowd rating 47, segment rating 75. It's a really good segment rating. Ace Austin's celebration is cut short by Jonathan Gresham. He says he has Ace worked out. He talks about Ace being jealous of him upon entering the NWA. He says Ace hates the fact that there are other people to tune in for. Hottest free agent was quickly forgotten when Gresham joined. Ace laughs and denies his claims. Even Gresham was just bored since attacking Shelton. Shelton's music hits. Benjamin comes out and runs to the ring. Gresham becomes tense and is ready to fight. Shelton attacks Ace Austin. Gresham is confused, and when he looks away, Shelton hits him with a German suplex and leaves. 63 segment rating. Finalized rating 56 for part 1 and 65 for part 2. So Shelton Benjamin has returned. And let's have a look at what the rating was for the whole show. 66, show increased popularity in 18 regions. So I'm happy with that. 1,192 people in attendance at Coca-Cola Roxy. And let's have a chat with the locker room. Who had the best performances? I mean, I don't even remember. Ace Austin had a 78. And who was it? Takeshita had a 70. But there was someone else who had a 70 and a 70. I'm just trying to think. Who else? They had just. I've got no idea. That's it. AJ Styles and Nakajima. Let's give them their flowers. Ace is very happy. And the other two seem pleased. Injury review. It's only 5 days. Strained bicep. El Fantasmo. We lost less money than we did doing a power show. You know, 5 grand of that was on the stage. So it's pretty decent, to be fair. Popularity recap. Wow, we've not made it to 32 yet. So maybe on the next episode we're going to get to 32. But yeah, that was this episode. That was NWA Paranoia. And in the next one, yeah, we'll be going through the powers, and then we'll be on to the next pay-per-view potentially. And hopefully with these next couple powers, we'll be in position, to get a TV deal. So I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.
So don't worry if ik spreek een beetje Nederlands. And don't worry if ik kom uit de Engeland. I'm uit Amsterdam, ben ik honger, I just came for smallers and some pictures for the gram. I'm back in the city, man.